to mark the 25th day countdown to the holding of the Games, arguably Africa's biggest sporting event. It has been a long journey for us, which has been characterized by difficulties and uncertainties following the unexpected effect of the COVID-19 pandemic on our infrastructure development plans and general preparations. However, we demonstrated commitment and resilience. And when all hope appeared lost, we came up with a brilliant idea of adopting a hybrid approach to hosting the Games. That is, using facilities at the University of Ghana, which were under construction, as well as selected facilities we could develop on time here in Botima. Our decision to adopt the hybrid method has proven to be a wise one, as facilities, both at the University of Ghana and here in Botima, are ready for the hosting of the 13th edition of the Africa Games. Despite loud calls by some pessimists for our nation to withdraw from hosting the tournament, we remained resolute. And today, our country can be proud of the massive sporting infrastructure we have put in place for the Games.
Now let's move to Parliament, where a member of Parliament for Tamale South, Haruna Ijusu, is demanding urgent actions to address the acute shortage of water in the Tamale metropolis. While in a brief statement on the floor of Parliament on Wednesday, the former minority leader explained that the challenge has put hospitals and schools, especially in Tamale, under significant stress. He called for a resolution to bring some relief to the members of the community.
And the matter relates to an acute water shortage in Tamale, a crisis that affects the daily lives of our constituents in the greater Tamale metropolis and its environs. And the acute water shortage has gripped our city, leaving our beloved people parched and desperate. Mr. Speaker, that has occasioned some immense hardship and impacting negatively on every aspect of life in the Tamale city, whether from Gujatua, Kudula through Lamashegu through Sanarago through Kobrimagu, Kuku, or whether through Kutonle or Palsi or Sakasaka or Sogna or Sabonjira, the problem remains the same. And our people are seen carrying what is popularly known as the Kufuor gallons in search for water. Mr. Speaker, many of the communities have not even seen pipe-borne water in the last few years. In some areas for 2 years, no pipe flowing. And many of the rural areas, such as Toto, Yapala, Zoo, Nantonzo, Kapayel, have to rely on dam water in order to be able to access potable water. Mr. Speaker, almost all the Tamale water projects have suffered delays. I do know that government came in with some 272 million euro assurance that there will be further development on the Bywater International Limited water project, which was at Dalang, and to move it to Yapi so that access could be expanded even to affect areas like Damango. Mr. Speaker, Tamale is fast growing and is considered one of the fastest growing cities in West Africa and is becoming a major problem for many of us members of parliament in that particular area. Mr. Speaker, accordingly, I want government to consider declaring Tamale a water scarce zone, allocate emergency resources to address the immediate needs of residents in the Tamale metropolis, and then deploy emergency water relief supply. Even if the Ghana Water Company can ration water around the community, it may alleviate the suffering of the people. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, the water shortage in Tamale is a humanitarian crisis demanding urgent.
And still in Parliament, there were near fisticules between the Saint Central MP Kennedy Japan and Sylvester Tete MP for Botiano English Yamanfu on the floor of Parliament on Tuesday, February 13, while the day's proceedings were ongoing. Well, in a dramatic turn of events, tensions reached a boiling point as other parliamentarians found themselves needing to play peacemakers' roles to prevent a physical altercation.
The science yes, I'd like to compliment and commend the lady who organizes the science. A number of science lecturers have been mentioned here as contributing towards the improvement of women in science. And I would like to particularly name the effort being made by KNUST Faculty of Science by ensuring that science students, women or girls in science are identified at an early stage. I'm looking at the situation where they go to the local schools, I'm talking the primary and basic schools, to ensure that they can identify the students, and during vacation they are able to give them knowledge and they are.
Meanwhile, Mr. Kennedy Japan and slighted lawmakers for a Saint Central and the Botiano English Amanfrom respectively have made peace after they nearly engaged in a brawl in Parliament on Tuesday, February 13, 2024, while the Deputy Minority Leader Alexander Afin-Makin invited the two of them into his office where they settled their differences.
You know what? Godfather. I'm ready to guys no, you know what? Godfather. I'm ready to guys
And 259 metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies were yesterday inaugurated across the country for a 4-year tenure aimed at fostering local development and governance. 30% of the assembly members were appointed by the President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who would, together with members of the Parliament and the State Chief Executive, constitute the assembly in the various MMDAs.
The program of economic and social development policies 2022 to 2025 as the agenda for jobs, creating prosperity and equal opportunities for all. Therefore, in your deliberations, planning and decision-making for development, ensure that you localize these national development priorities into your action.
30 committee members have been tasked with driving development in electoral areas in the various sub-regions. Take a listen.
Had ever been in the history of this country. As we look at the membership of the district assembly, it is envisaged that ideas and opportunities would emerge to deepen the deliberative, legislative and executive functions of the district assembly. You as assembly members have the mandate to deliberate, plan, mobilize resources, make decisions, including bylaws, to ensure the transformation of your district towards the Ghana we all want. I'm expecting that you would be part of the team that finally changed the status quo and deepen local governance and decentralization to enable the citizens have access to basic public services in their districts. The district assemblies are mandated to support the government to deliver on its programs and projects to the benefit of the people. Together with your DCE, I entreat you to advance the implementation of the government's coordinated program of economic and social development policies.
And Vice President and flag bearer of the new Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has delivered a keynote address on humanitarian impact on improved anti-personnel mines for Ghana through the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons in partnership with the Implementation Support Unit hosted a three-day regional conference on the need to address the humanitarian impact of improved anti-personnel mines in West Africa.
Of their removal varies significantly and ranging from $300 to $1,000 per mine. Considering these figures, the total expenditure for clearing all existing mines is projected to range from $50 billion US to $100 billion US. However, the Landmine Monitor 2022 report indicates that state parties to the Mine Ban Treaty have destroyed more than 55 million mines, stockpiled anti-personnel mines. This underscores the significant financial commitment made by both states and international organizations worldwide towards the effective implementation of the convention. The Landmine Monitor reported that in 2022, at least 4,710 individuals were killed or injured by landmines or explosive remnants of war in 49 states. Among these 4,710 individuals, 1,661 lost their lives and 3,015 sustained injuries. Civilian casualties constituted 85% of the total, while nearly half of the civilian victims being children, amounting to a total of 1,071. As of October 2023, it was reported by the Landmine Monitor that approximately 60 countries and other areas worldwide were grappling with the detrimental presence of anti-personnel landmines contaminating their territories. Among these, at least 24 state parties are either believed or confirmed to be afflicted with improvised mine contamination. These states include some African states such as Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Chad, Mali, Nigeria, and Togo. The presence of improvised mines exacerbates.
And the President Nana Akufo-Addo, through a spokesperson, has urged metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies to play a key role in checking on planned settlement in their localities. While the President observed with concern the developing trend which he believes poses a threat to national development.
A press citizenry on the guidelines for planning and development permitting in Ghana. As you begin work, it is my ardent hope that you will help enforce the planning standards and compliance of land use and special planning, as well as other regulations governing human settlements and special planning.
And the flag bearer for the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has said that he won't give promises he can't deliver, unlike the new Patriotic Party government led by President Nana Akufo-Addo and Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was speaking at a town hall meeting in Tamale during his Building the Ghana We Want Together tour. The the former president clarified that given the current economic challenges, he refuses to make commitments he cannot fulfill.
Yes. So I cannot promise everybody that we're going to increase your salaries and all that. I don't want to be like those dishonest people who came and promised you heaven and said they will build factories in every district, they will build dams in every village, they will give every constituency $1 million a year. I'm not that kind of person. And so I cannot promise you that I'm coming to increase your salaries, but we've taken note of the difficulties that pre-tertiary teachers are going through. And I've suggested some of the solutions. And one is that we will help you with accommodation in schools so that more teachers can stay in school. One of the reasons a lot of teachers do not want to go on posting to certain areas is because they cannot find accommodation. There are even some rural areas where nobody rents a house or a room, and so you have to stay in town and commute to school every day. And the cost of transport will eat up all your salary.
And the executive director of the Alliance for Social Equity and Public Accountability, Mensa Thompson, has strongly criticized Yaobwedu Ajibwa, for the chairman of the National Media Commission, for his opposition to his directive issued by the Ghana Journalists Association to blacklist members of the parliament accused of assaulting journalists.
It's disheartening for journalists to be attacked violently. The unilateral resolve to black out or boycott is not the most productive reaction. We cannot fight impunity with impunity. I will support any effort to ensure that justice is done against all such deviant acts rather than blackout or boycott. We must follow the rule of law and the due process. Condemning such acts is in order, but not the blackout or boycott. While the call for boycott or blackout may be popular, it may not be productive or functional to the public interest.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Journalists Association president had this to say concerning this issue.
You abandon your call for your constitutional mandate, and a journalist, a veteran journalist for that matter, who's part of us, because today you are heading a state institution or a state organization which is supposed to be independent, will now disagree with a entire media body. We have 500 bodies that came together to take this decision. So if you disagree with even GJ, you disagree with, are you saying you also disagree with Media Foundation, disagree with GIBA, disagree with Primpack? It is we don't even know what we are doing. And it's unfortunate that this comment it is the responsibility of the NMC to provide a enabling working environment for journalists to thrive. After that, we see NMC sanctioning journalists, media houses, go and apologize, go and do this. One of top as the NMC sanction perpetrators of attack on journalists. He will tell you that he will say that all this report didn't come before them. Meanwhile, during the invasion of the UTV studio, nobody reported to them. They were the first people to issue the statement, but nobody reported to them. When politicians, government officials attack journalists, you